You're live, but I'm feeling dead. This is the Aaron Zero show with another edition of today's noise and all the noise you never want to hear. And what do we have in the noise today? Well, from the Indian headlines, fresh off, the activist, Ladakhi activist Sonam Wangchuk has been transferred from his protest site at Jantar Mantar to Safdarjung Hospital under police escort, so to speak, or should I say he was forcibly removed by the Delhi police under orders of the Delhi High Court. He had been on fast for 19 days. Today was the 20th day. He had lost already 9 kilos of body weight, and his condition was fragile to say the least. And he's supporting the Cockroach Janta Party, which is a party of students which wants fair exams and testing, etc., and all that sort of stuff. And of course, earlier he had been protesting for legalization of various Ladakhi laws and statehood, etc., in the Ladakh area where he's from. He's 59 years old. A lot of Bollywood stars came out in support of him. And in fact, one of the Bollywood celebrities, Shobha Day, a writer, said that, are we such a cruel country that we're just going to let him die and stuff and all that? So anyway, the police came in plainclothes and removed him from there, and they carried him away and pushed away the protesters and hangers-on and handlers and whatever. So he's there in the Safdarjung Hospital. Luckily, hopefully, he's in good hands and he will get the care that he needs. And of course, he should call off his protest fast. And hopefully, the government will do something and listen to his needs. Of course, the Cockroach Janta Party wants the removal of the education minister, Mr. Pradhan. I don't know if that will be done because Mr. Modi will not do as the public always wants, I think. I don't know. I'm but a small observer. So that is the real latest on the Indian scene, but not quite. We also have another item. India's first hydrogen train was flagged off by the Prime Minister Modi, and it's going from Jind to Sonipat. And it's actually quite an achievement to think about it, because there are very few countries in the world who are running hydrogen trains. Germany started, I believe, in 2018, and United States has one running now, and I think it started in 2024. China had one, but it's on and off situation. So it's quite a feather in the cap if it will work in India and will contribute to less pollution. It's basically a train which carries hydrogen canisters inside it. It's mixed with the oxygen coming in from the air. That creates electricity, which is moved to run the motor and stuff of the train. So that is something we need in India, less pollution, less pollution. So let's hope that works, as well as the E20 fuel, in my opinion, is a step in the right direction. Brazil has had a great success with ethanol for the last 50 years, and it's time India jumped on the bandwagon and stopped the imports of oil. So no running to Hormuz and etc. and all that stuff. All that will be a thing of the past. And Brazil is doing it very successfully, so I understand. And they have converted their cars to flex cars, and I believe the trucks also. So that would be a big saving in crude oil and crude oil imports and diesel fuels hanging around the city, for example. So a win-win situation. That's what I see. But what do I know? I'm just a small freak in the Today Noise. At Today Noise, we know nothing of anything. And in the Iran US conflict, things are heating up. Mr. Trump thinks he can bomb away the situation, but that's far from true. He has, as one commentator said, he's drowning in the Strait of Hormuz. That is what is happening. He's drowning in the Strait of Hormuz. So the American military has bombed five or six places, bombed five or six bridges in southern Iran, railway lines that connect China and Russia, as well as an airport. And what have the Iranians done? Well, they have attacked Kuwait, a power plant, desalinization plant, and they could do the same in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia, etc., which would create chaos really, because a lot of people in those Gulf states depend upon the desalinization plants for fresh water, clean water. And so it's a giant mess that Mr. Trump has created. He and alone is solely to be responsible. Also, the tiny genocidal state of Israel. So both these countries are responsible for the scenario that is going on there. At the same time, as they say in English, in every curse there's a blessing. So I think the blessing in this curse is that a lot of countries in the world that have been looking to oil imports and stuff like that are now looking to alternative sources of energy. And that is going to be the game plan for the future: solar grids, solar power, wind power, etc. That is what is going to form the energy dominance for other countries that are dependent upon crude oil, etc. And I hope India does too, also the same. It's a large country, large population, and we need to service a large population. So we too will do well to get away from the crude oil imports, which cost billions of dollars. And so you'll save all that money and you can put it back into more hospitals, schools, and stuff that poor people need. And of course, not line your pockets. So that would be a win win situation. That is what I see. But what the hell do I know? Also, in Pakistan, in the Gilgit Baltistan area, the people there have asked for provincial status, and they want the Pakistan federal government to grant them that status so they can send representatives to the Pakistan National Assembly. And I don't know whether that will happen, but all that area is very restive, like the Baluchistan area, which don't want to see Chinese activity in their area and roads and whatever. And they don't want the critical minerals and all to go to China. So, all that area, plus the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, is also restive because their demands have not been met. So it is a win-win situation for India if something positive hand happens, because India does not recognize these areas as being under Pakistan but as under India. So that is what is the Indian stance on that. So let us see what happens with that. and it would be more development projects for India if India was to get a chance to interact with those regions. Of course, before partition, this was all India, including the so called state of Pakistan. And Indian history starts in the country called Pakistan. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and all that exists there. Civilization 5,000 years old. So maybe it's time Pakistan joins India and becomes, rejoins India, sorry, and becomes part of India again as it was for 5,000 years ago. And then Trump will have to deal with India, and there won't be any crypto coins. On that note, we thank you very much and subscribe by the billion.